Well, hello and long time no here. Or welcome to another episode of the Fearlessly Fit podcast. I am Kim Bush, also known on some social media platforms as Kim B Fearless. And so today I thought I would talk about what I recently realized was going on with me by consuming stevia, the quote unquote natural sweetener, which is really, as I'm learning, just as artificial as aspartame, saccharin, and all the other ones. So, for those of you that may not know, I have been on a weight loss journey for almost a year now. And in learning what works for my body and what does not, I came to realize that sugar was not good for me. Not because I'm not jumping on the bandwagon of the people that are saying sugar is a drug and all of that, which it is possible to be addicted to it. I will not dispute that whatsoever. I have not done a lot of research on the scientific aspects behind it being addictive, but it all boils down to the pleasure centers of the brain and what kicks in your dopamine and your other feel good hormones. So, for a lot of the years, I was familiar with artificial sweeteners because my mother is a diabetic and she has been since I was in junior high school, I think, early high school. Anyway, so she used aspartame and saccharin and some of the others. We always had the little packages of pink and blue sweeteners in the house. So when I did some research on those, I decided that it was not something I wanted to consume long term. I do occasionally use them if I'm out at a restaurant or if I want to sweeten something that I'm drinking, but it's not an everyday thing for me. So when I heard about stevia several years back, I thought, oh, well, that must be good. It comes from a plant. They tell you it comes from an herb, it's natural. But I'm learning that it does come from a plant, but it has been processed and refined and sold on the market. It's almost as processed as aspartame, saccharin, and all the others. So I am not a coffee drinker, but in the winter, I do like a cup of decaf every morning at work. It's more so for the feeling of being warm, and I like the coffee smell. That's about it. So I was drinking decaf at work every day and using stevia in one manufacturer or another in some form to sweeten it. And I mentioned on one of my social media posts last week or earlier this week that I noticed I had picked up some body fat over the winter, specifically in my upper body and midsection. I am an apple-shaped endomorph, so I tend to hold weight in my upper torso area. So I just couldn't figure out what was going on because even though I was not working out like I did before in the spring and summer, I was still working out through the fall and winter. I was still paying attention to what I ate. Um, I was not strict as far as eliminating certain foods or food groups, but I tried to practice moderation. So I've just started another program, which I may talk more about in another podcast, but I'm still in the early phase. I've only been doing it for 3 weeks now, so once I'm a little further in, I'll talk about that some more. But anyway, so I ran out of coffee and stevia at work on Wednesday, I think. And I just made a note to pick up some more. But at the same time, now that I've started this program, I've just gotten into the nutrition aspect of it, which it's a very different program. There is nutrition along with physical activity, exercise, and strength training, but they take you at a much slower pace and they kind of ease you into each phase. So the first thing was to change my mindset about food and eating and that sort of thing. I worked on that, then exercise, and then this was my first full week of nutrition based lessons, we'll call them. So I had noticed that I had been having these extreme cravings. I'm not really a snacker per se. When I was on a previous, we'll call it diet, because that's what it was. I was having to have two snacks every day, a morning and an afternoon snack. And there was sometimes a struggle for me to have those snacks. But the diet was so low in calories that eventually I was looking forward to those snacks. But anyway, so all of a sudden I noticed that I was always looking for something to eat. I keep snacks at work, cocoa dusted almonds, raw plain almonds. I'm sorry, roasted plain almonds. Sometimes I have hummus and pita chips, carrot sticks and celery in the refrigerator, and just things I can eat real quick just to hold me off until lunchtime or until I get home and have dinner. Well, I noticed that I was going through a lot of almonds. Then I was eating a lot of hummus and chips. Then I was going to see what was in the snack machine that might be acceptable for me to eat based on what my um, goals are, my nutrition goals, my weight loss goals. And then I would get home and have dinner. And then after dinner, I would still just feel so unsatisfied that I would go back to the kitchen and kind of rummage around the cabinets in the pantry to see what was in there that I could snack on. Sometimes it was low calorie snacks. Sometimes it was high calorie snacks. My husband keeps a tub of plain and a tub of peanut M&Ms in his media room, and I was visiting the media room a lot. Let's put it that way. I was eating a lot of M&Ms and almonds and whatever else I could find. So I had completely forgotten that I stopped drinking coffee last winter for the very same reason, because I was using stevia, and I just noticed that I just was always hungry or needing to snack on something or feeling like I had not eaten enough when I knew I had eaten plenty to satisfy my nutritional needs and my calorie base for the day. So then I started to do a little more research on stevia. And basically, what happens is, because stevia is a sweetener, and it is sweet, it's sometimes I feel like it's sweeter than sugar. They say it's 200 to 300 times sweeter than sugar. I guess it depends on which version you buy and how it's been processed. But when you eat something sweet, whether it's real sugar or an artificial sweetener, what I learned from my nutrition class last semester was digestion begins in the mouth. So when you taste or eat something sweet, the receptors on your tongue send signals to your brain to prepare your body to process whatever sugar you're about to eat. So pancreas starts pumping out insulin, the flora in your gut prepare to break down sugar to keep everything in balance, because if you eat too much sugar and you don't have the proper gut bacteria, then you get the overgrowth of yeast or candida, which can manifest itself in several ways. So anyway, your body starts to prepare for the sugar that it thinks you're eating. When you finish your meal or your drink and there's no actual sugar, then the body is confused and it's saying, okay, where's my sugar? Because you ate something that was sweet. We got the signal, we got the message. So then the bacteria in your gut kind of get out of whack. You've put a little bit of stress on your pancreas and possibly your gallbladder. And so now the body still thinks that you've ingested sugar. So you're going to have some of the same physical effects. Excess sugar ends up on the midsection. So I feel like, for me, drinking coffee with stevia every day, 5 days a week, and I just have one cup, but it's a big cup. It's like, I think I set the Keurig in the office kitchen to like 10 ounces to make my cup of coffee. So that, combined with the inactivity, because I was not working out as much, um, I feel like that contributed to the fat that I accumulated over the fall and the winter. So I have decided that I'm just not going to use stevia anymore. If I want something sweet, I will have, regular sugar. I just won't have as much. I've learned how to drink tea that's not like syrup, because here in the South, if your tea doesn't make you close up one eye when you swallow it, it ain't right. It's and Kool-Aid. We love some Kool-Aid down here in the South. So I'm just going to stick to water. Try to be mindful of anything sweet that I may have, which I usually don't. Even if I go out and eat somewhere, sometimes my husband and I have date night, I get water. But every once in a while, I will have some tea. I just only have one glass. And I'm a slow eater and drinker, so they don't usually refill my glass at a restaurant. And sometimes I'll tell them, no, I'm fine because it's watered down to the right consistency that I like it. And if they add some, then you gotta tweak it again. You gotta get it back to where you want it. So anyway, I thought I would share that about stevia. And a couple other things I wanted to mention. I had promised you guys a podcast about what I had learned from my nutrition class, and I won't go into really deep details here, but I will tell you that nutrition is very, very important. You hear people say things like little cliches: abs are made in the kitchen, um, summer bodies are made in the winter, and that is true. You can eat the wrong things too frequently or in too large of a quantity and be working against what you're trying to do with your exercise routine. So, for me personally, as I mentioned, I'm an apple shaped endomorph. My body is apple shaped, meaning I have a larger upper body, midsection area, and then smaller legs. I've always been shaped that way. I know exactly. I can look in my family members and see exactly where their body shape came from. And it's okay. I'll be 45 in a few months. I have learned to accept it, embrace it, and live with it. Okay. That doesn't mean I'm not going to get some plastic surgery if I get the money. I'm just telling y'all right now. So don't be shocked when I show up with an hourglass. Okay. Just make sure you put a few dollars in my GoFundMe. But anyway, my point is certain things affect me differently than they affect other people. I can't do a lot of carbs. It goes straight to my stomach. I can't do a lot of sugar. It goes straight to my stomach. I don't care if it's quote unquote natural sugar or refined sugar. So I try to limit the amount of fruit that I eat. I don't do a lot of bread for multiple reasons. If I eat bread, I try to get whole grain. If whole grain isn't available, then I will eat white bread sometimes, but I limit the amount of bread that I eat. I don't eat pasta anymore. For a while, I was using pasta made from chickpeas and other sources of garbanzo beans, chickpeas, same thing. But I don't really do that anymore. So I like rice. I do eat brown rice. I am trying to um, do more brown rice than I do white rice. And from time to time, I eat cauliflower rice. It just depends on what I'm making and if the cauliflower rice will be the right consistency for the dish. So I said all that to say you have to learn what works for you. You have to pay attention to your body. You have to notice cues and pick up on things that you experience while you're eating or ingesting certain things. I personally had to learn how to find my what they call satiety cue, which is where your brain is telling your stomach, okay, that's enough food. It's really strange. The only way I can describe it is that about 15 to 20 minutes into eating a meal, I start to get this feeling of almost euphoria. If you've ever taken pain medication or had to have surgery and the pain medication they give you after surgery, once it kicks in, that's kind of like what it feels like for me. That's my signal to say, okay, you've had enough, put the fork down, box up whatever's left, or, put it in the refrigerator. You can eat the rest later. So you're going to have to do a lot of work to figure out the best nutritional practices for you. You can't go on YouTube or Instagram and listen to everything people tell you on there because everybody's body type is different. I have friends that can eat whatever they want, and I'm sure we all do. They can eat whatever they want, and their weight never fluctuates, or they never appear to look like they've gained any weight. I had a professor in my first year of college in 2016 who told us that his wife and kids were jealous because he was still the same size he was in high school, and this man was probably in his mid 50s if I had to guess. And he had the tiniest little waist. I'm guessing he was probably like a 28 waist or 30 waist, if that. So there are some people who genetically are predisposed to not gain or have their weight fluctuate. I am not one of those people. So I have to be very careful and very conscious of what I eat. And yes, I can have what I want sometimes, but not every single day. And I'm saying this because weight loss is a lifestyle change. And people that follow me on social media sometimes get the impression that, you know, I never eat anything other than what I post in my pictures on Instagram. And I do. Sometimes I share when I eat something that's out of the norm for me. But I don't want you to think that it's all or nothing. You can find the balance to where you can have something that's not on your usual meal plan or your usual meal routine. Because I'm getting to where I almost don't like the word meal plan. It's kind of like um, a while back I said I didn't like cheat day, and I still don't, because that gives the implication that if you're eating in a way that's not sustainable, then you need a cheat day. But if you're eating in a way that's sustainable and makes sense and is not a chore, then you don't need a cheat day. For example, today was a busy day for me. It's a Saturday. So that means a morning full of errands. For reasons I'm not going to go into right now, I do the bulk of grocery shopping, going and getting, picking up, dropping off. I do all of that for my household, which includes my husband and my two sons that still live at home, and my husband's father, who is elderly and needs somebody to go and get things for him, that sort of thing. So that means on Saturdays, I'm going to the store for somebody. Usually it's multiple stores. Today I had a smoothie for breakfast because I had an eyebrow appointment at 9 o'clock. And it was a challenge for me to get out of the house and be there on time on a Saturday. But it was necessary because I was starting to look prehistoric. Um, so then after that, I went to Sam's. After Sam's, I went to Walmart and picked up groceries. And I finally tried the grocery pickup. Y'all, life changing. That's all I'm going to say. I probably, if my schedule and budget permits, I'll probably do it every time, because you have to spend a minimum of $30 to do Walmart grocery pickup, and then you have to do it a certain amount of time before. So sometimes, you need groceries, but that direct deposit hadn't hit. But anyway, left Walmart, went to Costco. And I keep a cooler in my car, so all my cold stuff, because I know whenever I'm out, I'm going to be out for a while. And I live at such a distance from these places that I go for food and grocery shopping, that it doesn't make sense for me to come home and drop stuff off and go back out. So went to Costco. I had a gift card that was burning a hole in my pocket. I stopped at Academy, picked up another pair of workout pants and a shirt, because workout clothes. Then I went to, where did I go after that? I made one more stop. Then I came home, unloaded everything, and went back out to a nail appointment because my feet, it's winter. Okay. They like the pool. They was closed for the winter, but it's time to get that back in order. And I wanted to get something done to my hands. Um, so I had that smoothie for breakfast. Then I had some leftovers from my lunch yesterday, which was out of the ordinary for me because I went to a place I go a lot, and they didn't have the kind of fish that I wanted to eat. So I got beef. I got a hamburger steak patty, which really it was more like a hamburger steak softball because that thing was huge. So I ate half for lunch yesterday, and I had some mashed potatoes, green beans, and black eyed peas. So I finished that for my lunch. And then after my nail appointment, my husband wanted Zaxby's. I did not. So I decided it's been a while since I've had some Thai food. That's what I'm going to get. And I did. I got spicy fried rice with chicken and shrimp, and I got some spring rolls. And it was thoroughly delicious. Now, tomorrow, I will be making my lunch because y'all know Sundays is my meal prep day. So when I get home from church, I am going to prep some of my food. I've learned to not prep for the whole week because by Thursday, most of the time, whatever you cooked has gotten extremely soggy or waterlogged, or it's mush when you put it in the microwave. So I'm going to cook enough to last me until Wednesday. This week, I'll be doing um, seafood again because I've recently been working on trying to get my cholesterol back under control so I can avoid medication, which is another thing. I don't metabolize all animal protein well. So, dark meat chicken, dark meat turkey, beef, pork, I have to be careful about because if I eat it too regularly, because of my thyroid issue, which makes your cholesterol a tiny bit higher than the average person's anyway, I have to watch that. Otherwise, they'll want me to be on some kind of a statin. And then, that kills all your cholesterol, good and bad. And some of them you have to have liver function checked on a regular because of what they do to remove the cholesterol from your body and your bloodstream. So I'm back on my seafood. I'm going to be doing shrimp for my salads, and I'm going to attempt to make a shrimp cauliflower rice teriyaki style and General Soul style. I found some sauces at Aldi that was just opened here in Prattville that are pretty low in sodium, and it got some good reviews based on some other people that I follow on social media. So those are going to be my two options for lunch: either shrimp salad, shrimp on top of salad greens, or the shrimp cauliflower rice, fried rice. And then for dinner, it will be some type of fish and vegetables. I will post pictures on Instagram when I'm done tomorrow. I've got a couple of vegetable ideas in mind. I've just got to decide which one I want to do. And that's pretty much it. And then during the week, I have a hot breakfast. I usually have egg whites scrambled with one whole egg, so maybe two whites and one whole egg. My chicken sausage from Costco, which is the only chicken product I eat during the day, during the week, and strawberries. About a cup, three-fourths of a cup of sliced strawberries. And that is it. I told you I eat pretty much the same thing for breakfast every single day, and I make my food in batches for the week. So I take the guesswork out of it. At lunchtime, I'm not starving and trying to get to the nearest drive-through because it's so easy for me to fall into that cycle. And then once I'm in it, I don't know how to get out of it. And then you look up and 2-3 months has gone by and my clothes don't fit. So yeah. But anyway, this was kind of all over the place and rambling. I just wanted to share that about stevia while it was on my mind. And also, um, I have to do things when I'm in the mood because I should be doing homework right now. I'm going to keep it real. I should be reading something and writing a 300-word essay for my discussion post that's due tomorrow before midnight, but I'm just not in the mood. I've been out all day. I'm about to make up my bed because right now there is laundry all over it from, 2-3 loads of laundry, and the sheets are not on it because wash those too. So I'm about to make up my bed, take a shower, get in my bed, and then I'm going to binge watch This Is Us because I got lost somewhere in season 2 and I need to get caught up. But anyway, thank you guys for watching and listening. I am going to post this on my social media if you want to catch the replay. And yeah, I guess that's it. So again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you at the next one. If you have a topic suggestion, let me know if there's something you want me to give my take on. I am not a nutritionist or a personal trainer yet. I'm working on both of those. That's the other thing I do aside from work and go to school. I'm supposed to be studying for my personal training certification, and my minor in my bachelor's is going to be nutrition. So I can give you my take on things, but I cannot give you professional advice. I will refer you to a physician, a licensed personal trainer, or a licensed nutritionist if you have specific, dietary questions. But other than that, I will be happy to talk about anything you guys want to know about or give you more details about what I like to eat, what I found that works for me. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys. Bye.